Leo, this week brings a test and a win. Something is about to shift in your life this week, Leo, and if you pay close attention to what I am about to share, you will not only survive the test that is coming, you will walk away stronger, clearer, and closer to everything you have been asking for. This week brings a test and a win. Both are real. Both are yours. And how you handle the first one determines the size of the second. Right now, you might be feeling a strange mix of anticipation and exhaustion. Like something is building beneath the surface but you cannot quite name it yet. Maybe you have been working hard and not seeing the results. Maybe you have been patient for so long that patience itself is starting to feel heavy. Or maybe there is a quiet voice inside you whispering that change is near, but you are afraid to believe it. I understand that feeling. And I want you to know that what you are sensing is not imagination. It is alignment beginning to take shape. The energy around your sign this week is unusually powerful. It carries both friction and reward. But here is the key. The friction comes first. And if you mistake it for failure, you will pull back right when the universe needs you to lean in. So stay with me through every single tip I share today. Each one builds on the last. Each one prepares you for something specific. And by the end, you will have a complete picture of what this week holds and exactly how to move through it with confidence, grace, and strength. Let us begin. Tip 1. The test this week is not what you think it is. When I say this week brings a test, your mind probably jumps to something dramatic. A confrontation, a loss, a crisis. But the truth is far more subtle than that, and that is exactly what makes it dangerous. The test this week is not about a big, visible moment. It is about a series of small, quiet ones. It is about how you respond when things do not go according to plan on a regular morning. It is about what you say to yourself when someone overlooks your effort. It is about whether you choose patience or reaction when a situation presses against your pride. Leo, you are a sign that carries tremendous dignity. You walk through life with a certain standard, a certain expectation of how things should be. And that is one of your greatest strengths. But this week, that very strength will be tested. Not to break it, but to refine it. Think of it like a blade being sharpened. The process involves pressure. It involves friction. It involves heat. But the result is something far more precise and powerful than what existed before. That is what is happening to you right now. The universe is not punishing you. It is not throwing obstacles in your path to slow you down. It is sharpening you. And the way you respond to this sharpening will determine how the rest of the month unfolds. So what does this test actually look like in practical terms? It looks like a moment where you want to react but wisdom tells you to wait. It looks like a conversation where you want to prove a point but something deeper tells you to listen instead. It looks like a day where nothing seems to be working, and you have to decide whether to spiral into frustration or anchor yourself in trust. The test is in the ordinary. It is in the mundane. It is in the Tuesday afternoon moment where nobody is watching and you still have to choose who you want to be. That is where your real power lies. Not in the grand gestures, not in the applause, but in the quiet, consistent decisions you make when the world is not paying attention. This week, pay attention to those moments. Recognize them for what they are. They are not inconveniences. They are invitations. Each one is asking you, do you trust the process? Do you trust yourself? Do you trust that what is coming is worth what you are going through right now? And here is the beautiful part. You do not have to answer perfectly. You just have to answer honestly. The universe does not need you to be flawless this week. It needs you to be present. It needs you to stay in the game. It needs you to keep showing up even when showing up feels hard. Because the win that follows this test is real. It is already forming. It is already on its way. But it can only land in the hands of someone who did not quit during the sharpening. So do not quit. Do not shrink. Do not pretend the pressure is not there. Acknowledge it. Breathe through it. And keep walking. Because by the end of this week, you are going to look back and realize that what felt like resistance was actually redirection. What felt like delay was actually preparation. And what felt like a test was actually a gift. Tip 2. Your emotional energy is your most valuable currency right now. This week, Leo, the most important resource you have is not your time. It is not your money. It is not your connections or your talent or your reputation. It is your emotional energy. And how you spend it will determine the quality of everything else in your life for the days ahead. Think about it this way. When your emotional energy is high and steady, You make better decisions. You communicate more clearly. You sleep better. You show up with more warmth for the people you love. You handle setbacks with grace instead of despair. But when your emotional energy is drained, everything suffers. Your patience shrinks. Your perspective narrows. Small problems feel enormous, and you start operating from a place of survival instead of strength. This week, the stars are asking you to guard your emotional energy with fierce intention. That means becoming very selective about where you place your attention. Not every argument deserves your participation. Not every problem needs your immediate solution. Not every opinion about your life deserves your consideration. You are allowed to protect your peace without explanation. You are allowed to step back from chaos without guilt. You are allowed to say no to things that drain you, even if those things seem important on the surface. Because here is what most people do not understand about emotional energy. It is not unlimited. It does not replenish automatically. It requires conscious management. It requires you to make choices that honor your inner world, not just your outer obligations. And for you, Leo, this is especially important right now because the test I mentioned in the first tip will try to pull at your emotions. It will try to hook you through pride, through loyalty, through that deep part of you that wants to be everything for everyone. But this is the week to be strategic. This is the week to ask yourself before every interaction, before every commitment, before every conversation, is this worth my emotional energy? Does this move me closer to where I want to be? Or is this a leak that I have been tolerating for too long? Some leaks are obvious. A toxic dynamic, a draining habit, a relationship that only takes and never gives. But some leaks are subtle. The constant checking of messages that bring you anxiety, the habit of replaying past mistakes in your mind before bed, the tendency to absorb other people's stress as if it were your own. This week, identify your leaks, name them, and begin to close them. Not with anger, not with drama, but with quiet, deliberate boundaries. You do not owe anyone access to your peace. You do not owe the world your exhaustion. You owe yourself the kind of energy that allows you to receive the win that is coming. Because make no mistake, the win requires energy too. Good things demand that you show up fully. Opportunities need you to be alert and present when they arrive. And if you have spent all your emotional reserves on things that do not matter, you will not have enough left to embrace the things that do. So this week, treat your emotional energy like gold. Spend it wisely. Invest it in things that grow. Protect it from things that diminish. And watch how quickly everything around you begins to shift when you are operating from a full cup instead of an empty one. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. A relationship dynamic is about to reveal its true nature. Something is going to become very clear this week in one of your closest relationships, Leo. And whether that clarity feels like relief or discomfort depends entirely on how willing you are to see the truth. This does not necessarily mean a romantic relationship, although it could. It might be a friendship. It might be a family bond. It might be a professional partnership. But there is one connection in your life that has been operating under a certain assumption. And this week, that assumption gets challenged. Maybe you have been telling yourself that things are fine when they are not. Maybe you have been giving more than you receive and convincing yourself that this imbalance is love. Maybe you have been avoiding a conversation because the truth of it feels too heavy. Whatever it is, the energy this week will not let you hide from it anymore. And that is actually a good thing. Because the truth, even when it stings, is always the foundation of something stronger. You cannot build a meaningful connection on denial. You cannot grow in a dynamic that refuses to be honest. And you cannot protect yourself in a relationship where you are the only one investing. Now, I want to be very clear about something. This revelation does not necessarily mean something bad. Sometimes the truth that emerges is beautiful. Sometimes you discover that someone loves you more deeply than you realized. Sometimes a moment of honesty opens a door that was previously locked. Sometimes vulnerability leads to the deepest connection you have ever experienced. But you have to be willing to see it. You have to be willing to sit with what comes up without immediately trying to fix it, control it, or run from it. This week, let the relationship show you what it really is. Do not project what you want it to be. Do not force it into a shape that makes you comfortable. Just observe, listen, feel, and then respond from a place of truth rather than fear. If the relationship is strong, this week will make it stronger. If the relationship has cracks, this week will illuminate them so you can decide whether to repair or release. Either way, you win. Because truth always leads to freedom, and freedom always leads to growth. One thing to be mindful of: your pride might try to interfere. When a truth surfaces that challenges your self-image or your perception of how others see you, your first instinct might be to defend, to justify, to explain. Resist that urge. Not because your feelings are not valid, but because defense mode closes the very door that honesty is trying to open. Stay open. Stay soft. Stay curious. Ask questions instead of making declarations. Listen with the intent to understand, not to respond. And remember that the strongest version of you is not the one who always has the answer. It is the one who is brave enough to hear the question. This week, the question is being asked. How you answer it will shape the next chapter of this connection. And I have a feeling that if you lead with truth and compassion, the chapter that follows will be one of the most meaningful you have ever written. But there is more to this story than relationships alone. What happens next in your week touches something even deeper. Tip 4. A financial or material shift is closer than you think. Leo, I know you have been thinking about money. Maybe not obsessively, maybe not constantly, but there is a part of you that has been carrying concern about your financial stability, your material progress, or the direction your resources are flowing. This week, something begins to move in that area. And while it may not arrive as a sudden windfall or a dramatic overnight change, the shift is real and it is significant. What you need to understand is that financial shifts often begin internally before they manifest externally. A new idea arrives. A different perspective takes hold. An old belief about what you deserve begins to crumble. And from that internal reorganization, external change follows. This week, pay attention to any new thoughts you have about money, abundance, or your relationship with material security. If a new idea comes to you, do not dismiss it. If a conversation leads to an unexpected opportunity, follow it. If something inside you says it is time to approach your finances differently, trust that impulse. The energy around your sign this week supports practical action combined with intuitive guidance. That means the best financial decisions you make right now will not come purely from spreadsheets and calculations. They will come from a blend of logic and feeling, a blend of planning and instinct. You might feel drawn to reorganize your budget. You might feel the urge to invest in yourself through education or a new skill. You might feel called to release a spending habit that no longer serves you. Whatever the impulse, honor it, because the universe is trying to align your material world with your spiritual growth. And when those two things are in sync, abundance flows with much less resistance. Now there is a caution here. This is not the week for reckless financial decisions. This is not the week to gamble, to overspend, or to make large commitments based purely on emotion. The shift I am describing is gradual and grounded. It requires patience. It requires discipline. And it requires you to trust that small, consistent steps lead to large, lasting change. Think of your finances like a garden. You do not plant a seed and expect a harvest the next morning. You water it. You tend to it. You protect it from weeds. And over time, with consistent care, it produces more than you ever imagined. This week, you are planting seeds. Some of them are literal. A new income stream, a conversation about a raise, a small investment that could grow over time. Some of them are metaphorical. A shift in your mindset, a release of scarcity thinking, a new openness to receiving. Either way, the planting matters. And years from now, when you look back at this period of your life, you will recognize this week as one of the turning points. Not because something massive happened on the surface, but because something fundamental shifted underneath. And that shift made everything that followed possible. There is also something worth mentioning about your relationship with receiving. Many of you are excellent givers. You pour generously into others. But when it comes to receiving, whether that is money, help, compliments, or opportunities, you tense up. You deflect. You feel guilty. This week, practice receiving without guilt. If someone offers you something, accept it with grace. If money flows toward you from an unexpected direction, do not question it or push it away. Let it land. Let it settle. Let it remind you that abundance is not just about working harder. It is also about allowing the fruits of your work to reach you. The universe rewards those who are open to receiving just as much as those who are willing to give. And this week, your openness matters more than ever. Take the practical steps. Follow the intuitive nudges. And trust that your material world is beginning to catch up with the person you are becoming. Tip 5. Your body is sending you signals you cannot afford to ignore. Leo, your body has been talking to you. The question is whether you have been listening. This week, the connection between your physical health and your overall energy becomes impossible to overlook. And what your body is asking for is not complicated. It is asking for attention. It is asking for care. It is asking for the same devotion you give to your goals, your relationships, and your responsibilities. Many of you have been running on adrenaline and willpower for longer than you realize. You have been pushing through fatigue, ignoring small aches, overriding the signals that tell you to slow down. And while your determination is admirable, your body is not an afterthought. It is the vehicle that carries everything else. Without it functioning well, nothing else in your life can reach its full potential. This week, the energy around your sign is highlighting a specific area of your physical well-being that needs attention. For some of you, it is sleep. You have not been getting enough of it, or the quality has been poor. Your mind races at night. You wake up feeling unrest. And that accumulated sleep debt is affecting your mood, your patience, and your ability to think clearly. For others, it is movement. Your body has been stagnant. You have been sitting too long, moving too little, and storing tension in places that are starting to ache. Your muscles are tight. Your energy feels stuck. And the simple act of moving your body, walking, stretching, dancing in your living room, could release more than you imagine. For still others, it is nutrition. You have been eating for convenience rather than nourishment. Quick meals, late-night snacks, too much of what drains you and not enough of what sustains you. And your body is reflecting that imbalance in subtle but persistent ways. Whatever category you fall into, this week is your invitation to course correct. Not with extreme measures, not with punishing routines or restrictive plans, but with gentle, consistent attention. Drink more water. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Take a walk after your meals. Choose one meal a day to make intentionally nourishing. These are small steps, but small steps taken consistently create enormous change over time. And here is the deeper truth behind this tip. Your body is not separate from your spiritual journey. It is part of it. The way you treat your body reflects the way you treat your relationship with yourself. When you neglect your body, you are sending a message to the universe that you do not value the vessel you have been given. When you care for your body, you are affirming that you are worth the effort, that you deserve to feel good, that your well-being matters just as much as your productivity. This week, let that message ring loud and clear. There is also a connection between your body and your emotions that deserves attention right now. When you are stressed, your body stores that stress in specific places. Your shoulders tighten, your jaw clenches, your breathing becomes shallow. And over time, those physical responses become chronic. They become your default, and you stop noticing them because they feel normal. But they are not normal. They are signals. They are your body's way of saying that something emotional needs to be addressed. So this week, when you notice tension in your body, do not just stretch it away. Ask yourself, what is behind it? What are you holding on to? What are you afraid of? What conversation are you avoiding? Sometimes the most powerful healing does not come from a pill or a treatment. It comes from simply allowing yourself to feel what you have been suppressing. Your body and your heart are connected. Honor that connection. Take care of the body that carries your dreams. It is working hard for you. Return the favor. Tip 6. An old pattern is surfacing so it can finally be healed. There is something from your past that has been quietly influencing your present, Leo. A pattern, a habit, a way of thinking or behaving that you developed a long time ago, maybe even in childhood, that no longer serves who you are becoming. This week, that pattern is going to surface, and when it does, you are going to have a choice. You can react the way you always have, repeating the cycle one more time. Or you can pause, recognize it for what it is, and choose differently. This is the healing moment. This is the breakthrough point. And it is available to you right now if you are willing to be honest with yourself. The pattern might look different for each of you. For some, it is the tendency to shut down emotionally when things get difficult. You learned early on that vulnerability was dangerous, so you built walls. And those walls kept you safe for a time. But now they are keeping out the very love and connection you crave. For others, the pattern is people-pleasing. You learned that your worth was tied to how much you gave, how much you sacrificed, how much you put others before yourself. And while generosity is beautiful, martyrdom is not. You have been giving from an empty cup, and this week, the emptiness will demand to be acknowledged. For still others, it is the pattern of self-sabotage. You get close to something good, a relationship, an opportunity, a moment of peace, and then you find a way to disrupt it. Not because you are broken, but because somewhere deep inside, there is a part of you that does not believe you deserve it. That part was trying to protect you once, but it is no longer accurate. It is operating on old information, and this week you have the chance to update it. Healing a pattern does not happen in one dramatic moment. It happens in the recognition. It happens when you catch yourself mid-reaction and say, "Wait, I know this. I have done this before, and I do not want to do it again." That moment of awareness is where the magic lives. That is where the chain breaks. That is where you step off the wheel that has been spinning you in circles and plant your feet on solid ground. Do not be afraid of what surfaces this week. It is not rising to defeat you. It is rising to be released. Like a splinter working its way out of your skin, the discomfort is part of the healing. Let it come, let it be seen, and then let it go. You are not the person who created that pattern. You have grown. You have learned. You have changed in ways that the old version of you could never have imagined. And this week you get to prove it. Not to the world, not to anyone else, but to yourself. That is the only audience that matters right now. And here is something else about patterns that most people miss. When you break one pattern, it creates a ripple effect. It loosens the grip of other patterns you did not even know were connected. The pattern of shutting down emotionally might be linked to the pattern of overspending as a way to numb feelings. The pattern of people-pleasing might be linked to the pattern of neglecting your health because everyone else's needs come first. These threads are woven together, and when you pull one free, the others begin to unravel too. This week, you do not need to fix everything at once. You just need to pull one thread. Identify the pattern that feels most present right now, the one that showed up most recently, the one that caused the most friction, and choose differently in that one area. That single act of conscious choice will send a signal through your entire system that change is happening. And from that one choice, more choices will follow. More clarity will come. More freedom will flow. The audience is ready to see the real you step forward. Tip 7. The universe is rearranging things behind the scenes in your favor. I know it does not always feel like it, Leo. When you look at the surface of your life, some things still look out of place. Some dreams still feel far away. Some prayers still feel unanswered. But what I need you to understand is that the universe does not work on your timeline. It works on alignment. And right now, alignment is happening at a pace that would astonish you if you could see it. Behind the scenes, things are being moved on your behalf. Doors you do not even know about yet are being unlocked. People you have not met yet are being guided toward your path. Circumstances you cannot control are being reorganized to create space for what is coming. You do not see it because it is happening in the invisible. It is happening in the realm of energy, intention, and divine timing. But the fact that you cannot see it does not mean it is not real. Think about the last time something unexpectedly wonderful happened in your life. Did you see it coming? Probably not. It likely arrived without warning, in a way you never could have planned. And looking back, you can see how everything before it, even the difficult parts, was leading to that exact moment. That is what is happening right now. The difficulties you are experiencing are not random. They are not meaningless. They are part of a larger design that is working in your favor. Every delay is strategic. Every closed door is a redirection. Every moment of uncertainty is creating space for a certainty you cannot yet imagine. This week, your job is to trust the process. I know that sounds simple. I know trust can feel impossible when you are in the middle of the storm. But trust is not about feeling certain. It is about choosing to believe even when you cannot see the full picture. It is about deciding that the universe has not forgotten you, even when the evidence seems scarce. You are being cared for. You are being guided. You are being prepared for something that matches the depth of your desire and the sincerity of your effort. And the fact that it has not arrived yet does not mean it is not coming. It means it is not ready yet. Or more accurately, you are not quite ready yet. Not because there is something wrong with you, but because there is a version of you that is still being refined, still being strengthened, still being polished into the person who can hold what is coming without breaking. And that polishing, that is what this week is about. So when things feel uncertain, remind yourself of what is happening behind the curtain. Remind yourself that the universe does not waste effort, that every uncomfortable moment has a purpose, that the test and the win are not separate events. They are two halves of the same story, and your story is far from over. In fact, the best part is just beginning. Let me add one more layer to this. The universe does not just rearrange circumstances, it also rearranges your perception. This week, you may start seeing situations differently. A problem that seemed unsolvable might suddenly reveal a simple solution. A person you misjudged might show you a side you never noticed before. A fear that has been looming over you might suddenly seem smaller, less powerful, less real. That shift in perception is not accidental. It is part of the rearrangement. The universe is not just changing your world. It is changing how you see your world. And when your vision changes, everything changes with it. Trust your new eyes this week. Trust the fresh perspectives that arrive. They are not random thoughts. They are gifts of clarity being delivered at precisely the right time. Tip 8. A creative or expressive breakthrough is available to you this week. Leo, you are one of the most naturally creative signs in the entire zodiac. Creativity flows through you like water through a river. It is not something you have to force. It is something you have to allow. And this week, the conditions are perfect for a creative breakthrough unlike anything you have experienced in a long time. This does not mean you need to be an artist in the traditional sense. Creativity is not limited to painting, writing, or performing. Creativity is how you solve problems. It is how you express your feelings. It is how you approach a conversation. It is how you decorate a room, cook a meal, organize your thoughts, or imagine your future. Creativity is the act of making something that did not exist before. And this week, something wants to be made through you. Pay attention to the ideas that arrive unexpectedly, the ones that show up in the shower, the ones that wake you up at 3 in the morning, the ones that whisper to you while you are doing something completely unrelated. Those ideas are not random. They are messages. They are instructions from the deepest part of yourself, telling you what wants to be born into the world through your unique lens. Now, there is a common trap that creative people fall into, and I want to warn you about it. It is the trap of perfectionism. The idea arrives, and it is beautiful. It is exciting. It fills you with energy. But then the critic shows up. The inner voice that says it is not good enough, that someone else has already done it better, that you do not have the skill or the time or the resources to bring it to life. That voice is a liar. It is fear dressed up as wisdom. And if you listen to it, you will kill the very thing that is trying to grow inside you. This week, do not let perfectionism win. Do not let the fear of getting it wrong stop you from getting it started. The first draft does not need to be perfect. The first attempt does not need to be polished. Just needs to exist. Because once something exists, it can be shaped, refined, and improved. But you cannot improve what does not exist. Start messy. Start scared. Start before you are ready. That is where the breakthrough lives. Not in the flawless execution, but in the courageous beginning. Let yourself play this week. Let yourself experiment. Let yourself make something terrible and laugh about it. Let yourself make something beautiful and be moved by it. Either way, the act of creating will open channels inside you that have been dormant. It will release energy that has been trapped. It will connect you to a part of yourself that knows exactly who you are and what you are here to do. That connection is priceless, and it is available to you right now this week if you simply give yourself permission to create without judgment, without comparison, and without the need for anyone else's approval. Your creativity is yours. It does not need to be validated by the world to be valuable, just needs to be expressed. And this week, the universe is giving you every reason to express it fully. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. Someone from your past may reappear, and you need to be ready. This week carries a particular energy that tends to bring old connections back to the surface. For you, Leo, this could manifest as an unexpected message, a chance encounter, or even a dream about someone you have not thought about in a while. When this happens, do not panic, and more importantly, do not romanticize. The past has a way of looking better than it actually was, especially when the present feels uncertain. We tend to filter our memories through a lens of nostalgia, keeping the warmth and erasing the pain. But the person who left your life, or the person you walked away from, left for a reason. And before you open any doors, you need to remember what that reason was. This does not mean you should be cold or dismissive. If someone reappears this week, treat them with the dignity and grace that your sign naturally carries. Listen to what they have to say. Consider their words with an open mind, but keep your boundaries firmly in place. Because the test this week is not just about the challenges ahead, it is also about the challenges behind you. The universe may be testing whether you have truly learned the lessons that past connection was meant to teach you. Have you? Have you grown beyond the patterns that define that relationship? Have you healed the wounds that made you vulnerable to dynamics that did not serve you? Have you become the person who would choose differently if given the same situation again? If the answer is yes, then this reappearance is simply a confirmation of your growth. It is the universe showing you how far you have come by placing the old mirror in front of you one more time. And when you look into it, you will see clearly that you are no longer the person who stood there before. But if the answer is uncertain, if a part of you still aches for what was, still wonders what could have been, still carries unresolved feelings, then this is an opportunity for deeper healing. Not through re-engagement, not through going back, but through honest self-reflection. What did that connection teach you about your needs? About your boundaries? About your worth? What did you tolerate then that you would never tolerate now? And what part of you still needs to grieve so that you can finally be free? This week, let the past be a teacher, not a destination. Let old faces remind you of how much you have grown, not pull you back to who you used to be. You have worked too hard to return to places that made you small. You have come too far to shrink back into dynamics that once kept you stuck. Honor the past by learning from it, but live in the present. Build toward the future. That is where your power is. That is where your win is waiting. And one more thing about people from the past. Sometimes the person who reappears is not another human at all. Sometimes it is a version of yourself. An old dream you abandoned. An old hobby you let go of. An old passion that once made you feel alive, but got buried under the weight of daily responsibilities. If that version of yourself shows up this week, if you suddenly feel drawn to something you used to love, pay attention. That is not nostalgia. That is your soul reminding you of a piece of yourself that got left behind. And this might be the perfect time to go back and reclaim it. Not everything from the past needs to stay in the past. Some things were simply waiting for you to be ready to hold them again. And speaking of the future, the next tip might be the most important one of all. Tip 10. The win this week will come in a form you did not expect. I told you at the beginning of this script that this week brings both a test and a win. We have spent a lot of time preparing you for the test. Now let us talk about the win. But I need you to release any specific expectations about what this win looks like. Because the universe rarely delivers blessings in the packaging we expect. We ask for one thing and receive another. We imagine success looking a certain way and it shows up wearing a completely different outfit. And if we are too attached to our version of the win, we miss the actual win standing right in front of us. This week, your win might not look dramatic. It might not come with fireworks or fanfare. It might be a quiet moment of profound peace after weeks of inner turbulence. It might be a conversation that finally resolves a misunderstanding that has been weighing on your heart. It might be a sudden clarity about a decision you have been struggling with for months. It might be the simple but powerful realization that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Do not underestimate the quiet wins. Do not dismiss the subtle shifts, because those are the ones that change your life permanently. The dramatic moments fade. The big wins often carry big complications, but the quiet victories, the ones that happen inside your heart, inside your mind, inside the way you see yourself, those are the ones that reshape your entire reality from the ground up. This week, stay alert. Stay open. Stay grateful for what arrives, even if it is not what you ordered. Because the universe knows what you need better than you do. It knows which win will serve your highest good, which blessing will create the most lasting impact, and which gift will open the most doors going forward. Your job is not to dictate the form. Your job is to receive it with open hands and an open heart. Trust that what arrives is exactly what was meant to arrive. Trust that the timing is perfect even if it feels late. Trust that the size of the blessing matches the size of your readiness to hold it. And here is one more thing about this win. It is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the first domino in a chain of positive events that will unfold over the coming weeks and months. What happens this week sets the tone for what comes next. And if you receive this win with gratitude, humility, and awareness, you will amplify its power tenfold. So watch for it, welcome it, and when it arrives, take a moment to acknowledge it. Say thank you, not because the universe needs your gratitude, but because gratitude keeps the channel open. It tells the universe that you are paying attention, that you recognize the gift, and that you are ready for more. And there is one final thing I want you to remember about this win. You deserve it, not because you are perfect, not because you have done everything right, but because you have stayed in the arena. You have kept going when it would have been easier to stop. You have chosen growth when comfort was available. You have asked hard questions of yourself and sat with the uncomfortable answers. That is not nothing. That is everything. The universe does not reward perfection. It rewards persistence. It rewards courage. It rewards the willingness to keep showing up, day after day, even when the scoreboard does not reflect your effort yet. This week, the scoreboard begins to shift, and you will see finally that every step you took in the dark was leading you toward the light. This week, you are ready for more, and more is ready for you. Leo, we have walked through a lot together in this time. We have talked about tests and wins, about emotional energy and old patterns, about creativity and truth and trust. And I hope you are leaving this moment feeling different than when you arrived. Not because anything external has changed yet, but because something internal has shifted. You now carry awareness that you did not have before. You carry clarity, you carry tools, and most importantly, you carry the knowledge that this week, this beautiful, challenging, transformative week, is working in your favor. Every single piece of it, even the parts that hurt, even the parts that confuse you, they are all part of a design that is leading you somewhere extraordinary. You are not a passive recipient of the universe's plan. You are an active participant. The stars can align, the energy can shift, the doors can open, but none of it matters if you do not walk through them. This week demands your engagement. It demands your courage. It demands your willingness to show up fully, to feel deeply, to risk honestly, and to trust completely. You are a Leo. You were born under the sign of the lion, and lions do not hide in the shadows waiting for life to happen. Lions step forward. Lions lead. Lions roar even when their voice shakes. This is your week to roar. Not loudly, not aggressively, but from a place of deep, unshakable knowing that you are exactly who you are supposed to be, doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing in exactly the right moment. The test will come, and you will pass it. The win will arrive, and you will receive it. And somewhere between the two, you will discover your own strength. Not the strength you perform for the world, but the real one, the quiet one, the one that lives in your bones and your breath and your beating heart. That strength has always been there. This week, you finally get to use it. Carry this with you, Leo. Let it guide your choices. Let it remind you that you are more than enough. You always have been. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.